So, have you ever felt like out of sync with life? Like maybe things aren't moving as fast as you'd like, or perhaps you're experiencing a transition that feels unsettling, right? Something that is uneasy. And so, what we tend to do is we tend to resist where we are, especially when we compare ourselves to others and their journey. But what if I told you that you're exactly where you need to be? What's good, Elevation Nation, and welcome to the Elevate It podcast, where it stands for inner tugging, the divine pull within, and where our focus is on supporting emerging leaders in self-awareness, in relationships, and spiritual unfolding through inner work. I'm your host, Christian, as always, right? So let's go. Listen, life, much like nature, moves in rhythms and cycles. So when we understand these rhythms, not just intellectually, but energetically, we shift from resistance to flow, from frustration to peace. And right now, where you're at, I'm encouraging you in the comment section just to go ahead and put that out there. If you're choosing peace over frustration, then you put that in there. If you're going to realize that from now where we are, I'm going to go from resistance to flow. I just want to know where you at. I just want to gauge. And if you're listening, you can just say it out of your mouth. But listen, there's two universal laws that govern this understanding. And those universal laws are the law of rhythm. That's number one for my good note takers. And the law of rhythm, it reminds us that everything in life operates in type cycles. And so we're talking about highs and lows, expansion and contraction, right? Ebbs and flow, right? That's what we're talking about. But when we're talking about the law, the second law is the law of relativity. And the law of relativity teaches that nothing has meaning except the meaning that we assign to it. Hear me when I say this. So what seems bad is only in contrast to something that we perceive as good. But it's your mindset, right? If I can think about, listen, I'm going to just put it out there. For me as a child, if you would say Brussels sprouts, right, I'm going to perceive that is bad. But some of you watching right now might say, look, that is the most man, you didn't have my grandmama's Brussels sprouts. And maybe you could convince me, but because I perceive it as a bad thing, there's a whole mindset. I could even start getting sick because of an experience that I had. There's so many things. Do you see where I'm going, right? So when we stop resisting and start flowing in harmony, right, with those laws and with those mindsets that take us out of what was bad, or or no matter what they are, we can actually choose to enjoy life. I'll let you sit there. All right. I'll let you sit there. All right. So what I want to let you know is that where we feel good no matter where we are, that's crucially important. And I believe that's where we want to get to, right? And so instead of fighting these seasons that we're in, I want us to learn to honor them. Can you put that in the comment section? I honor my season. Please just put that in the comment section. I honor my season. All right. I'll wait. I'll take a sip on that one. You say, well, Christian, you had me say I honor my season. But I don't know what season I'm in. I don't even know what season you're referring to. Well, what better way than to illustrate this than to talk about the seasons in nature? All right. So when we think of the winter season, I encourage you, I invite you to think of a season of rest and inner work. Rest and inner work. When you think of the spring season, I invite you to think about the season of growth and new beginnings. Okay, things are sprouting all over the place. You know that the area of that growth and new beginnings, right? Can you visualize it? Can you see it, feel it? All right. Summer, the season of abundance and expansion. All right. The harvest is plentiful. during that time. And fall, the season of letting go and transition. Can you see the leaves falling off of the tree? All right. I like to say it this way, releasing what no longer serves you. Are y'all with me so far? If that's good all by itself, let us know in the comment section. That right there is amazing. So listen, on this week's episode, I want to have a conversation with you about sacred seasons. Please put that in the comment section. Sacred season. Your season, no matter where you are, it's sacred, it's unique, it's to you, and you are amazing. You are unfolding, you're developing, and I want to encourage you to embrace that season. Join me in embracing that season, right? And as well as celebrating the seasons that other people that you're doing life with, celebrate their season as well. It may not be your season, but you'll get there, and it'll be vice versa. You'll realize that we'll switch seasons, and that's okay, because there's an area of oneness that I'm learning. There's an area of unity that I'm understanding, and we can celebrate each other's seasons. Think about the love and the unity that comes from there. So whatever resonates and connects with you, I invite you to look within to accept that current season. All right. And just say I accept it. All right. So we're going to break down those 4 seasons, and we'll look at the area of time, because what I won't finish on this particular episode, I will come back, and next week we will pick up where we left off. So let's go with the area of the winter season. And I want to test y'all. If y'all are good, you're good students. Okay. So I'm perceiving that you're a good student. So I know you're already taking notes. You're writing some things down, or you're listening and you're taking mental note. But what did I say about the season? Oh, almost gave it to you. What did I say about the winter season? Okay. Put in the comment section. It's that season of rest and inner work. Here's a good affirmation that I'm going to just give you right now. Give you this for free. All right. But sit with this. I honor my season for rest, and I trust that all is working together for my highest good. How does that feel? Do you resonate with that? Because maybe that's where you are in. Maybe you're at that place of winter, right? So in nature, in wintertime, there's a stillness. Right now, where I am in Pennsylvania, we'll have snow. We'll realize that there aren't any leaves that are on the trees, right? That there's a lot of stillness that's going on. Right now, some high winds, but it's still some stillness. It's a time of reflection and restoration. Things are in hibernation, right? And so the trees appear bare. The animals are doing their thing, right? It seems as though the world is slowing down, okay? And so this mirrors our seasons in our own lives. And when we feel that, maybe we're feeling called at this time to retreat or to heal, or hear this one, to simply be, right? Be still and know I am God. The I am, you're cooperating in the area of stillness. And listen, you can be in this season, and I'm not saying how long they are, but I encourage you to join me and not rushing it. Why you keep saying join me? Because I'm not projecting or perceiving that I'm the expert in this. I am literally unfolding right along with you. As a matter of fact, maybe just a few steps ahead of you, to let you know that I know what the winter season feels like. I know even currently right now, in a lot of parts in my own life, I'm in the next phase that we're going to talk about in that spring season. Okay. And we're going to get from there. But if you are in the winter and you're feeling that area that need to retreat and to heal or simply be, I want to share with you how this may be showing up in your life. Okay. So you feel uncertain, or very, I'll say, introspective, right? Or low energy, process or progress. It just seems slow in your business, in your relationship, maybe in your finances. Maybe you feel an urge to go ahead and rest or reflect, or to just go inward. And to pay attention to those seasons, because I felt as though can I be transparent with you? At the time of this recording, this recording right now, yesterday, I tried to record this and nothing worked. It seemed as though my body, my mind, from everything that I was going through, not going through like in a bad way, but just the day, right? My day was daying, right? Life was lifing, right? And I was in that place where I felt the divine say, don't push this. Don't rush this process right here, right? And I planned some things didn't go right. I'm just being transparent with you, Elevation Nation. I'll be honest with you. I'll be 100% honest with you in this season, right? And I realized that when it came to this concept, when it came to this particular episode, right, but this is connected to a blog that is released. And if you haven't checked out the inner elevation insights and the inner elevation blog, then I encourage you to go ahead, because this just piggybacks on what I'm sharing with you right now. Okay. And you can find it on our site. You can also find that on my LinkedIn page. But anyway, now back to our regularly scheduled program. But I was at a place where I was like, am I going to force this? Because I deliver a podcast on every, to you guys on that area of that Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Or am I just going to go with the area of the flow of the season? And at that time, I felt spent. I tried to record. It was blurry. The lighting wasn't right. Things didn't align. And I just felt, Christian, let's let it go. It's okay. Because this season, there's still some things that are dormant. There's some things that still need rest. Your body right now, you need to go inward. And I went inward. And I'm so grateful that I did. And I have an amazing team that allows me to flow in that direction, that when I'm able to go ahead and just be. And I'm so grateful that right now that what you're not getting 10% of Christian if you would have got me last night. You're not getting 45%. What you're getting right now is someone who is aligned, who cares, and realize that. So I had to release myself, which I'm going to share this with you, how to align with this. I had to release myself from guilt. Woo-wee! You saying something, Christian. Oh, I say it. That's how we align. So I rested without guilt. I want to set somebody free right there in Elevation Nation, that you're in a place right now where you feel like if it has to be me. Maybe that's something that you're saying, right? And you realize, look, if I don't do it, it ain't going to get done. Well, trust that in your rest time, that there can be a blessing that can take place. That there's a place where more can get done, because we're not just trusting in our natural abilities. That I'm telling you that the divine God, source, life, beauty, love can add the super on your natural, and it becomes a supernatural experience where you can be at a place of rest without guilt and be aligned with your higher mind, with your Christ mind, with the mind of God, right, within you, right? And there can be a necessary renewal. And no matter what that looks like for you, I encourage you to go ahead and take that. For Lanisha and I, we, every quarter, we take some time off away and we go hibernate. I shared that with you guys. There's seasons where when Lanisha's side of the business is booming and is great and is producing, and mine isn't. There's times when it switches. There's times, all these things. And I tell you, you guys know my story, the area of the comparison trap. So it's so easy to get caught in that. But if we look into our season and realize that maybe this podcast or maybe this book, you guys who don't know, I'm writing 10 books this year, right? I've already written 4. One is produced. One is published, and the other one will be published the end of this month. And so I'm in that place, but I can compare myself. Well, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. And this hit me. A lot of you guys know me as a speaker. You know me as a coach. You don't know me as an author yet. Until you get the book, go get the book, right? And so I had to give myself time. Christian, maybe you got to look at yourself and realize, what season are you in? Maybe in my coaching business could be in one season. The author side can be in another season. My marriage and family can be in another season. And they all work together because it's one area of unity, but it's different seasons. So during that time, if you're in that winter season, don't judge it. Right? The renewal is necessary. So engage in the inner work, meditate, journal, pray, reconnect with yourself. Trust the unseen. Trust the unseen. I should have y'all check on my plant, Zoe, life. that my uncle is helping me to grow. And there was time he said there is a germination season where there's some things going on underneath the ground, but at this moment in time, you don't know, it won't spring forth yet. But I'm telling you, if you would do these things, continue in that process, not trying to rush it, but just continue in that process and realize that the seed will do what it's supposed to do. And so I'm going to encourage you to let you know in this time, in this place, I'm talking to myself if I'm not talking to anybody else. Trust the unseen. Even if nothing outwardly is happening, there's deep transformation taking place. There's balance beneath the surface. Come on. There's some things that are going on in the soil. And so when it comes for, and I looked and I seen some of that green, that growth. And that growth that was sprouting, that growth that was springing forth, let me know that I am in a new season. Somebody right where you are, put that if you feel like you're coming out of your winter and now you're in a place of spring, okay? And that spring is a season of growth and new beginnings. Season of growth and new beginnings. And so this is where I currently am in the area of my authorship. And so a good affirmation I will put out there for you is, just like we're talking about the area of seeds, like I plant seeds of abundance and I trust in divine timing. So sit with that. I plant seeds of abundance and I trust divine timing. Okay. So think about that springtime is a time of rebirth. As fresh energy, I have concepts. Ask my team, ask my wife, ask people where I have ideas. I have ideas upon ideas, and I want to go with these things, and I'll do this. But when you start to see the greenery come forth, you got to realize it's still a baby form. It's still some things taking place. So I have to remind myself. My coaches have to remind me. My therapists have to remind me. My wife and family team have to remind me. This is what we said we would do. I know you're in a springtime season of rebirthing and refreshing, and there is new possibilities, right? You see that, right? But I need to let you know that some things are being awakened at this time. So they're maybe not ready to stand on their own. They need some support, right? Think about that. When the world awakens, when flowers bloom, right? A new life emerges. Things that seem dormant, they suddenly burst forth with vitality. And that's why I'm encouraging you that even if you were in your winter season, one, it won't last forever, and that it's not rushing that process because you need the rest season for the place where you start to see things spring forth. Well, Christian, what does that look like? I'll tell you what it looks like for me. There's times where right now I'm on phone calls. I'm talking about my book. I'm talking with companies. I'm learning about, okay, well, Christian, you've done a lot of reels like this. Maybe you need to start doing, our VA said, Christian, are you open to doing more quotes post? And I'm like, absolutely. Well, why is that important? That's important because that's writing. That's tied to the area of the brand. They know your mouth, but do they know the word? So if we pull something from the book and we put it before them, then they understand it. They like it. They know it. They trust it. They want more. And so you got to be open to those. There's some things that are blooming. There's an opportunity for me to be a guest blogger on some different situations. Some things are just sprouting, right? I'm not in summer yet. But it's just blooming and I'm getting to see them. And this is what I want to tell you about the spring season. Ask me how I know. I'm going to tell you about the spring season because in the time of spring, sometimes you can want summer so bad you skip over what spring is speaking to you about. And you could forfeit some areas that are growing. Listen, at one point in time, my uncle, I took a picture of my plant Zoe, right? And I sent it to my uncle and he said, Christian, what you're going to need now is to get a heating light and put that over there because the way that the plants are growing right now, it's showing that they're reaching out for more light. Oh, that is a word all by itself. And so now when things are moving forward, it needs more illumination, more light. And so when you have the natural light, because of the positioning you are in, you may have need some other sources of light that is still light, right? But a different type of light that is coming in to go ahead and give what can't be in reach right there. So that made it look like the form where you're getting it naturally and you're getting it straight from the divine. And that's beautiful and that's great and that's awesome. But there could be an area where there being a hindrance. There could be a blockage. There could be something. Again, God sends a coach. The divine sends a therapist. The divine sends some type of webinar or some type of book or something there that is serving as an extra form of light. And then it's going to come to a place where that's going to birth forth and go to a different season. Are y'all with me? If you're with me, type I'm with you. Okay, we'll move on. So how this shows up in life, you would start seeing new ideas, new projects or relationships. Let's go there for a second, that are emerging. Second book that we have coming out in February is The Pleasure Is All Mine. And Alex gets a boo. Okay. We know that Alex, if you've read book one, Alex is represents the soul. And so now Alex meets Nori, and they're going to do life together on a romantic side, and there's some relationships. And so some of you guys are in that area where you are realizing that I'm in a spring season. And I want to speak to you right now and encourage you, because I've also had a divine sense that there are expedited relationships that are taking place, meaning that there's some things that you've gone through your whole entire life, and it's been for this moment. But you're starting to wonder, like, should I be feeling these feelings in life? Should I be feeling that I'm in love now? Should I be feeling these things? And you're trying to like put it aside and trying to downplay it. I'm going to ask you to lean all the way into that. And this book number 2 that's coming out, The Pleasure Is All Mine, with or without a partner, that will help minister to right where you are, because the world may be telling you it's too new for that, or you have to wait this many years, or you have to do that. Listen to the divine within you. This is what I learned about myself. There's 2 things that I know that I'm really good at. One is, it's a couple of things, but right now I'm talking about this. One is facilitating conversation that causes you to do some inner work and align yourself to your higher mind, the Christ mind, the God within you. The other part is enjoying writing those things and giving you the opportunity to do the same thing. So whether I'm facilitating a conversation, that's why I have a podcast. That's why I like to grab people in a room. Or if it's a book that causes you to do that, do the inner work. Why is that so meaningful? Because I believe sometimes we rob people from unfolding. We tell them how to think. We tell them what to do. We do all those things, and they are not able to hear God for themselves and operate from that divine place. So it's not about me telling you what to do. It's about inviting you and making you aware of what you already have. You don't need to be successful. You woke up successful, because success is your starting point. Okay. And so back to the area of how it shows up in life. Those new ideas, those projects, those relationships, they're moving forward. Embrace the relationships, embrace the process, trust, go in, learn, have the perspective that all things are working together for your good. Okay. In that relationship area. Now, if you feel inspired or eager to take action in some things, and be careful about that. What do you mean by be careful? I'm not saying you're not to do it. I'm saying be careful with who you share, because somebody can be in a winter season, or somebody can be in the summer or a fall season, and they're not understanding the area of the spring that you're in. And so you know where you are, you can learn from other people, but be very careful, because somebody who doesn't want to take risks, somebody who is not at that place of seeing the things that are blooming, right? They can go ahead and have you to pull things back, to pull your ideas, concepts back, and say, oh no, you're not ready for that. But then on another side, somebody can be in summer and they're like, you need to go for it, because they're seeing blessing. Know your season, look within, right? To start this process. But the results, realize that you can start the process, but the results might not be immediate. Okay. And so how do we align in this season? Plant those seeds. Like I said, take those steps, even if they're small ones. In my daily affirmations, I have affirmations that are written, and I read them in the morning, I read them in the afternoon, and I read them before I go to bed. And so they're all aligned in oneness, but they all are different levels, right? And so they remind me that one of them in the evening is, Christian, show a place of gratitude, because the steps that you took, even the smallest one, towards your vision, like, you need to celebrate that. And I want to encourage you in your spring season, if you're there, to celebrate whatever the step is. For me, I did this right here. This is a step today I can celebrate. I talked about the book. I'm making you aware of the book. Hey, my books are between $19, I believe $15, and like $9. Okay. No brainer. Go grab the book, read it, love it, like it, share it, do what you got to do. That's taking a step towards that, right? I had to write the work. I'm continuing to write. That's planting seeds. So I'm planting seeds. Some things are starting to bloom. Planting seeds. Some things are starting to bloom. It's talking about the vision, sharing it with people that you trust, sharing it with people that know more about the industry than you do, or whatever that looks like. If it's in a relationship, find somebody who's married and been successfully married for however many years, look at somebody else who's generated that type of wealth and pay that you're going into. Take the meat, leave the bone, whatever applies to you, be able to operate within that. All right. So celebrate that. All right. Stay open to the new opportunities. Stay open to them, open to them, open to them, open. If I could rap, I would rap that to you, because I want you to understand that these opportunities, they are coming to you. You may not realize what they look like. Okay. Let's just go with this. For me, maybe I want so many book sales. Of course I do. I'm an author. But there may be a time when, okay, the books are not, but what else do I have to do to help supplement? What else do I have and put in place so that I can continue to move forward within those? If somebody comes in and it makes me uncomfortable and they say, Christian, I heard about this, but will you hop on this meeting, or will you do this? That may have nothing to do with money, and they may not have a huge following, but it just might be an opportunity to share your heart and mind. You just never know. You can't judge it because you don't know what the divine is going to do. And we're in the law of relativity and the law of rhythm. We're realizing that there's those ebbs and flows. There's the ups. There's the downs. There are different things that we identify. And if you know me, I say that only good, great, and awesomeness flows to you and through you all the days of your life. That doesn't mean that there's certain things that I've had struggles with, but I have to view it as an opportunity and not an obstacle. That's a word all by itself. That's a real. All right. That's a real. All right. So stay open to those new opportunities. Let go of those old beliefs and those limitations. All right. Be patient. Just as those seeds take time to sprout, your efforts will bloom when the time is right. All right. When the time is right. Listen, I don't even feel led to go any further right now. And so I want you to take the time to look at the area of the seasons that we shared. And we're going to go and talk about 2 more seasons on next week. And I want you to take the time. I want you to process. And I want you to see where you are. At the very beginning, I shared with you a little bit about all 4 seasons. And even if you're not in a winter season, or if you're not in a spring season, you will be one day. So it's crucially important to be made aware of where you are and also when this season shifts. If you have questions, go ahead and email them to us, info@elevateitpodcast.com. Would love to have your questions. All right. If you're not already following us on social media, follow us on social media. You can follow us on the Elevate It Podcast on all platforms pertaining to that. You can follow me on I Am Christian F. Johnson, and that is specifically on Facebook. I Am Christian F. Johnson. I Am Christian F. Johnson is on Instagram. Christian F. Johnson is on LinkedIn as well. And you can also go into our IamChristianFJohnson.com and be a part of our Inner Elevations Insights. We have an email list, and we want you to be a part of that. If you have not heard already, I am committing to writing and publishing 10 books, transformational books in 2025. They're not just any books, but they are fiction infused with universal principles, personal development, and it's just growing. Okay. And so these books are designed as a major self-reflection through that inner work, that guide towards love, peace, power, abundance, so forth and so on. Like I said, to have you align with your higher self, your God's self. And so this is more than just storytelling. It's an unfolding. And if that resonates with you, then make sure that you go to IamChristianFJohnson.com and go ahead and join. I think the tab says, it says join my email list here. And you can click there, give us your information, and we will add you into the family. Elevation Nation, as always, I thank you for joining us, for elevating with us. And as I've said before, next week, we're going to talk about summer and fall. And so just be encouraging there. Share this with somebody that you know will benefit from this. All right. And so my prayer as always is that may good, great, and awesomeness continue to flow to you and through you all week long. Blessings.